party like it's 1982. The San Jose State Spartans sure are, after going 3-0 for the first time since then. Hello, everyone. I'm Ryan Carlson. Along with me, I have Gio Gaxiola, Derek Au, and Max Miller. The Spartans coming off a massive 28-17 win against the San Diego Aztecs in Carson, California. They played at the Dignity Health Sports Center, if I'm not mistaken. And they went 3-0 for the first time since 1982. The Aztecs dropped to 2-1. It was a tremendous game. The Spartans starting quarterback Nick Starkel was injured on the first drive, I think the fourth play of the game, and was out for the remainder of it. Nick Nash, sophomore quarterback, stepped up big time and filled the shoes very well and got it done on the field. Gentlemen, what did you guys think of that competition? Derek?
Well, first off, great to be with you guys, and a late happy Veterans Day. Thank you to all of our men and women who have served for our country and around the world. You know, if I know we're a worldwide brand here, so you got to give it around the world part. But yeah, so I was in Yosemite actually by the shirt. Went there for my birthday last week, and by the way, thanks for the birthday wishes. And I get we have this group chat with the Spear. And then I see all these people. I get like 40 messages. You're supposed to be in the outdoors, you know what I'm saying? And then, I get Gio. Oh, Starkel's down. Starkel's down. Oh, I'm like, what? Who's down? Starkel's down. Because I was going to watch the game. And then all of a sudden, I had to watch it. And then I saw the hit. And, it did not look good with his head bouncing off the turf there. But, man, Nick Nash probably played the game of his life. I know he threw a pick, but he played the game of his life, making some insane throws, especially the one he threw across his body, across the field to Derek Deese. But yeah, that's just the type of play you need from your backup. Kind of reminded me of Teddy Bridgewater last year for the Saints, where he went undefeated, 6-0, 5-0, I believe, when Drew Brees dislocated his finger. And then I know Clemson, they've done it a couple of times. They've had to do it this year. Trevor Lawrence, being sidelined with COVID. So I think that's just something special. And, Nick Nash brings a different dynamic to the offense, and we'll see if he gets utilized on Saturday, but we'll go into detail later with that.
Nick Nash originally recruited out of Woodbridge High School in Irvine, California as a safety, and they saw how mobile he was and how well he could throw the football. And they said, Brent Brennan said at the press conference on Monday that, you know what, we're going to keep him at the quarterback position and see how that pans out. And it panned out really well on Saturday at the Aztecs. Nick Nash throwing for 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. Derek, you mentioned the 1 interception, but Coach Brennan also said that Nick Nash didn't blink. He was so dialed in on Saturday and was determined to get it done. And he went 16 for 25 in terms of completions and really stepped up. And it seemed like whenever he was on the run and escaping the pocket, he threw it more accurate than he did with safety in the pocket, with his O-line protecting him, which I found very unique. And Starkel only threw for 2 completions, 3 attempts, 13 yards before the injury. And no word on Nick Starkel yet. Coach Brennan doesn't like to comment on that at the press conference. But, Max, your thoughts on Nick Nash's play on Saturday?
I thought it was good. I mean, to get thrown in that early into the game, I think it's better. I mean, I don't want to say it's better that Starkel got injured earlier, but, I'd rather if somebody was to get hurt of that caliber, of that need of a position like quarterback, you want to have it happen earlier. So that way you can get rid of the nerves. You can come in, get warm, because he warms up just the same as Starkel does in warm-ups, but that's also his legs too. He was able to get into the game in a hurry. You clearly saw in the first couple of drives there was some nerves on his end, and the whole offense needed to adjust. They tried running some of the same plays that he has when it's just his rotation in, when they pull Starkel out when Starkel's healthy. But clearly, once they, especially, the last drive they had in the first half, getting that late touchdown, and really in the third quarter especially, not only did the defense step up, but the offense seemed to have built up a chemistry in that locker room of the, just this is what we wanted. And I think Nash, he also found a safety valve in Derek Deese. I think something that you always see in a backup quarterback at any level is if the starter gets hurt, the backup needs some sort of safety valve. And in almost all situations, it's either check down to the running back or the tight end. And Derek Deese made some unbelievable catches, and I think he really helped out Nick Nash and the fact that when he couldn't use his legs, when he needed to throw the ball, he knew Derek Deese was going to be able to catch the ball. And I think that's something that helped Nash go a long way. We knew he wasn't going to throw for many yards, but 170, 2 touchdowns, 25 attempts, that's all you need from him. And clearly it showed. The offense and the defense got the job done.
Tremendous backup quarterback showing. Derek Deese led the way on Saturday with 5 receptions for 76 yards, 1 touchdown. And Nick Nash got 1 rushing touchdown, and he also rushed for 53 yards, the most during the game on Saturday, ahead of running back Tyler Evans and Kyrie Robinson. The running game got going a little bit more, but I think that's due in part, Gio, to the mobile quarterback that stepped in.
Yeah, when you look at both Nick quarterbacks that San Jose State has, Starkel's more of the pocket present, stay in the pocket and pass, while Nash is more of a running gun. I'm going to get out of the pocket. If I don't feel comfortable, the first sign of danger, I'm out, and he could get out of it. He has the speed to do it, and he has the legs. What I want to highlight more than the offense is the defense. This is a team that gave up more than 20 points last year at SJSU. Only kept them to 17 this time. Trey Jenkins, reigning Mountain West Player of the Week. Huge game last week. 5 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception. You can't ask more from a safety. And can we just talk about Kyle Harmon down low in the middle? This dude's a baller. 14 tackles in 3 straight games. If he finishes with 14 during the whole year, each game, that'd be crazy. But if this defense can keep on giving the offense plenty of opportunity, it doesn't matter which Nick is at quarterback. They'll get the win, and they can do well.
Yeah, Trey Jenkins, Mountain West Defensive Player of the Week last week, and there are quite the Treys on the San Jose State team. Trey Jenkins, Trey White, and Trey Webb, all 3 contributing big time to the Spartan offense and defense throughout the game. And they got pressure on the San Diego State quarterback Carson Baker. He threw for 260 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception, but they made him feel uncomfortable. And the Aztecs did get a little bit more of a run game going with Greg Bell and Chance Bell. It turns out they are not related, not brothers, although you may think so. Same team, same last name, but they combined for a total of 127 yards and 1 touchdown between the two. So San Jose State defense came up big time against the Aztecs. And on the other side of the ball this Saturday at 7:30 p.m., the Spartans will host the UNLV Rebels and a quarterback by the name of Max Gillum, who also likes to rush the ball. In the Rebels' last outing, they were home against the Fresno State Bulldogs, and Gillum led the charge with the rushing game, rushed for 139 yards, 16 carries, 1 touchdown, while also throwing the ball 160 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. So the Spartan defense will have to find a way to come up big against Gillum and a impressive Rebels team despite their record, 0-3 currently this season. But Coach Brennan mentioned that they play defensively. They're a defensive team, and they have good stuff offensively too, with an impressive quarterback, like I just mentioned, in Max Gillum.
Yeah, Charles Williams also in that backfield, the senior running back, ran for 3 touchdowns against San Jose State last year at the old Sam Boyd Stadium. And of course, new head coach Marcus Arroyo coming from Oregon, Mario Cristobal, and that, Oregon offense that we've known for about maybe a decade, close to a decade, it seems like, starting from Chip Kelly. It's going to be a real interesting game. I know, Coach Arroyo is a alumni of San Jose State. I know earlier in his earlier this week, Coach Brandon and him are really close, really good friends. I believe, Ryan, one of them was in one of their weddings, I believe so. So it should be interesting, I think, for both coaches. I think it will be more fun for them just to coach against each other, considering they're from the Dick Tomey coaching tree. But yeah, UNLV, they may be 0-3, but they're playing more competitive games. So despite their record, they're going to try to bring their A game. And obviously, I think it's a storyline for Coach Arroyo to get his first head coaching win at his alma mater, the place that he played at, but also began his coaching career at. So, I mean, it's going to be insane. And I'm sure if there were fans in the stands, he'd probably have a lot of his family and friends coming to Suffolk Stadium. So it should be fun, and hopefully they'll honor the late great Coach Tomey.
You're talking about Arroyo coming from Oregon. He helped develop Justin Herbert to what he is in the NFL today. So maybe Gillum might be looking for that same little mojo. It might take a little bit longer for them to get that mojo going on, but once they start gelling, then they can start scoring more.
Coach Brennan also mentioned that UNLV is playing hard defensively to the football. And like Derek mentioned, that Brent Brennan was in Marcus Arroyo's wedding, head coach of UNLV. And Coach Brennan said that Marcus Arroyo is one of his favorite people in the world. So they are great friends, and he's excited to see his longtime friend after what should be a great game on Saturday. The Rebels, again, 0-3 on the season. Spartans, 3-0. But don't take the Rebels lightly, as they'll be coming in and really want to get that first win against San Jose State. And Max has a little bit more on the history between the two clubs.
Yeah, it's becoming my shtick on the history, but hey, I want to say this. Let's look at this year right now. I'm just looking on base right now. San Jose State, according to ESPN, has an 88.4% chance of winning this game, and are favorites by 15.5 points. From where they are last year to this year is a massive improvement. Now let's get into last year's stats against UNLV. Now the rosters have changed a lot on both sides. No Josh Love for San Jose State, and the quarterback, I don't even know, is it Oblad? Who was the quarterback for UNLV last year. But I think the storyline of all of last year, what's really improved this year for San Jose State is stopping the run. Last year, William, I think let's see, his name is Williams. I think it's Charles Williams. Ran 27 times for 186 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's insane. They fed him the ball, and they still threw the ball 36 times. So it was a shootout. The final score was 38-35. Josh Love, 56 pass attempts, 465 yards, 3 touchdowns. Sounds great. 4 picks. So the two storylines that we've talked about this entire year, all of us, whoever's been on this podcast, stopping the run and winning the turnover battle. Losing the turnover battle is what cost San Jose State last year. Winning the turnover battles this year is what's winning them games, right? They had the Trey Walker punt. They have the backwards pass last game that was not grounding. It was a fumble that turned into a touchdown 2 plays later. And we'll see if Starkel plays. I think either way, with Starkel or Nash, I think they're in good shape. But again, stopping the run and winning the turnover battle. UNLV is hungry. They're like you guys said, they're playing much better every game. I mean, they've improved their 3 games. They lost 34-6, 37-19, and 40-27. So their offense is coming into its own. It's a matter of if their defense can step up. Same kind of storyline as San Jose State from last year's. If their defense steps up, UNLV has a good chance of playing well. But San Jose State, I think, is going to keep riding the momentum, and I think Brent Brennan's going to have a chip on his shoulder to beat his friend who's in a wedding. And I think, stopping the run, winning the turnover battle, it's going to be hard to tell how the offense is going to run. I think if Nash is in, I think we see a run-heavy offense for sure. And I think it's a good get-right game for the defense, for the run game, because, overall, UNLV is giving up, let me see here. Where's my rushing? They're giving up 149 yards rushing, or they're only rushing for 149 yards, and they're allowing 225 rush yards a game. So if Nick Nash can throw the ball accurately like he did last game and run even more, they're in good shape. UNLV, their defense is allowing both the run and the pass, and I think with Nick Nash, they don't know they won't know what's coming. I think it'll allow for some creativity on the offense.
Rebels going up against a much improved Spartan defense, and the Spartans going up against a UNLV team that wants to get its first win on the season. Let's jump right into predictions, as Max kind of touched on the over-under and the history between the two clubs. By the way, an update on the prediction score. Max and I tied last week for the prediction, and we were off by both. We were both off by a net 8 points from our predictions, if my math is correct, and I think it is. I double-checked. So we're going to split the win between the both of us. We're both going to take a win. And Derek Howe is still looking to get on the board. Or no, you won.
After picking San Diego State last week.
Derek still hungry to get in the win column in terms of predictions. But let's jump right into it. This week, starting with Gio.
I think the Spartans will end up getting the win. I'm going to go with 28-13.
What about your keys to the game?
The first, obviously, the keys to the game we already mentioned is the defense. If the defense could keep on playing at the high level, they could keep on taking the ball away, get the offense chances to score. That would be a major key to the game. Another factor in the key to the game would be if the offensive line could keep on holding up to their great play, only allowing 2 sacks in the first 3 games. It's pretty amazing for a front 5. So hopefully Robbins and all the guys up front could keep a clean pocket for whoever is playing quarterback and get the running game going. We've been saying it every week. Last week it seemed like it was starting to get going a little bit more. They're starting to get the wheels turning, but once you start getting that train of run game going on, it's hard to stop it. So get the run game going for sure.
Well, yeah, I like to point out that I was trying to be unbiased here because we got a couple of jabronis in the peanut gallery that, oh, you're too homerish. Oh, why are you picking all San Jose State? But, I thought it was going to be a close game, which it was last week. So people don't hate. Okay, relax. But anyways, I'll be broadcasting the game, by the way, tomorrow night. You can catch that 90.5. But, yeah, I think it's going to be the offensive line. They've only allowed 1 sack. San Jose State's offensive line only has allowed 1 sack. And UNLV, they already have 8 sacks on the season. This totally reminds me of the New Mexico game where, New Mexico basically went point for point, in the first half. So I see it similarly playing out like that, maybe have it tied, at the half. But I like San Jose State, going probably 40 to 24. I think it's going to be real close. But, like I said, the offense exploded, in the third, fourth quarter against New Mexico. And whoever's behind center, I think with either Nick Nash or Nick Starkel, I think they're going to cause havoc for that young Rebels defense or Rebel defense. And then, this is a time for Cade Hall and the defensive line who have played outstanding to really add some total sort of sack numbers. So I think it's going to be a really tough challenge overall. I know UNLV is going to bring no-huddle offense, but 40-24, San Jose State goes 4-0 for the first time since Disneyland opened 1955.
Well, Derek, I like it. I like that actually a lot. That's pretty close to what I was thinking. I think, yeah, I mean, you and I are thinking the same way. I think it's a lot like the New Mexico game. I think it really, for me, it's going to depend on who plays quarterback, the score. I think if Nash plays, I think it's going to be definitely a little bit more low scoring for San Jose State. I think if Starko plays, I think, and he stays healthy, I think it's going to be pretty close to a blowout. It's tough. I mean, Ryan said the over/under. It's 59. I think if Starko plays, go bold, go over. If he doesn't go Nash, go under. That's just my thoughts on it. I've been right all year on it. But 3 keys, I think, I touched on it before: turnover battle and running the ball. I think the last one is, honestly, I think it's the O-line. Gio touched on it perfectly. If we can keep a clean pocket for the Knicks, it would be tremendous. I mean, you would allow them to run their offense perfectly. And even if Nash plays, if he gets in trouble, if the O-line breaks down, we know he can use his legs and move. And if it breaks down for Starkel, he can throw on the run just the same, if not better than Nash. He can sling it. I think my prediction is going to be 38-24 San Jose State. I think it's going to go shot for shot in the first half, and I think the trend continues of the San Jose State defense stepping up and shutting them down in the second half, and I think they'll make adjustments at halftime, which seems to be happening. So 38-24 San Jose State.
Spartans are going to have to protect Nick, whichever Nick it might be, Nick Starkel or Nick Nash. No word on starting quarterback for the Spartans quite yet. And on the other side of the football, it'll be Jacoby Windman and the UNLV Rebels. Windman had 2.5 sacks against the Fresno State Bulldogs last week. The Rebels, they are looking for their first win of the 2020 shortened football season. And my prediction is going to be Rebels take this one in San Jose, 24-17. My same prediction as last week, or maybe I was a little bit off from my last week, but I think the Rebels take their first win. I got to play devil's advocate here. The UNLV Rebels are looking for their first win, and it's going to be a tough fight. They're tough defensively, according to Brennan, and Derek thinks this is great. Look at him dying laughing down there. Hey.
Sorry, Ryan, but like Max said, this is going to be like the New Mexico game all over again. It's going to be shot for shot. Obviously, both head coaches are offensive, so it's a matter of, can UNLV actually exploit the defense and make the San Jose State defense break? I don't see that happening, but hey, that's all you. and you can follow him at Ryan Carlson 88, I think, on the Twitter machine, and
Great.
the Sphere, SJSU.
Great. I didn't ask for a shout out, nor did I need one.
I think you'll need one after this prediction.
I have the surprise prediction of the show, and I also have the lead in the predictions on this show as well. I'm 2.
Hey,
and
so
Max
do
is
I.
1. Well, I got one more than you
This
do.
week.
I think I'm going to go 3-1-1 between the three of us. Vegas is hungry for its first win, and I hope I'm wrong because I'm a San Jose State Spartan, but we shall see. I think it's going to be a great game. Again, Coach Brennan said the Rebels are tough defensively, and Max Gillum, he can chuck it, but if the Spartan offense stays healthy with Nick Nash or Nick Starkel, it'll be a tough task for the Rebels. Nonetheless, I think it'll be a great game this Saturday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time, Fox Sports 2. I got that right this time. And it will be in San Jose at Sefcu Stadium. And keep your eye out for all the updates on the Spears Twitter and social media. We got live tweeting going on in case you're not able to be in front of the TV or don't have access to the game. So, gentlemen, thank you for joining
Derek
me.
on KSJS.
Oh, Derek will be there, yes, on 90.5 KSJS. Give him a listen if you're in your car in the San Jose area, driving home to maybe catch the game wherever you may be, and there's a radio accessible. But anyway, it's going to be a great game. Should be a dogfight. Spartans 3-0, UNLV 0-3. They're desperate for their first win, and they might get it this Saturday against a stout Spartan team in San Jose. Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me on this show. For Gio Gaxiola, Derek Al, Max Miller, I am Ryan Carlson. Enjoy the game, everybody, and we will see you next time.